Here's another comment for the men. I think a lot of you guys are getting tripped up by dating women who are immature and too young. Just from myself and other young women I've been around, women are pretty emotionally immature until probably their mid or late 20s, although there are exceptions. Men are very immature until their mid or late 20s. Whenever you're dating someone under the age of 27, they're very likely to be immature. There are exceptions. Okay, there are definitely exceptions. But women especially are very emotionally immature when they're younger because our emotions are so strong and they get even stronger around our periods. Oh my God, I used to get so moody and I could tell it was my period. These hormones would just like make me moody and irritable. And it wasn't until I got to be around 30 that it kind of settled down, and I had also learned how to regulate them, anticipate it. People in their 20s are still understanding what they like. They're learning about consequences. Men in their 20s are still learning. If I have sex with a woman, she's probably going to have feelings for me. So by the time he's 30, he's going to be more careful about who he just hooks up with. A woman is going to be learn to speak up. People learn more about their boundaries and what they like and what they do that can hurt people. They're less likely to be impulsive. That's why young men have higher car insurance rates. They're impulsive. They have less impulse control. We know this. Our brains aren't fully developed until age 25. And that's interesting because all these guys in the manosphere talk about how, a woman is, I got some hot woman because she's 25. Well, those women are easy to manipulate. They might be youthful, but they're not ripe. Like I'm 60, but because I took care of myself, I'm actually in the best shape I've ever been. I mean, I had the same body shape when I was 25, but I didn't have the same core strength. I didn't have all this knowledge and empowerment. I don't have a uterus anymore. I can't give you children, but I'm wiser. I'm more mature. I know how to regulate my emotions. I have better boundaries. I'm more empowered. I know more what I want in a friendship. I know how to regulate my emotions better. And so, I gotta turn this rice down a little bit. I am making some rice. So one thing I want you to be aware of is the ages of the people you're dating and whether they're mature, okay? Whether it's a man or a woman. The other thing is you've got to look at their childhood trauma, their childhood history. Men raised by single moms often tend to be doormat people pleasers who withhold their sexual energy, their aggression, and their love addicts. Same with women, I guess. You want to find out about people's childhood, how much trauma they've had, and their trauma is not a problem unless they've never done any therapy for it. Because I think a lot of you guys, especially if you don't know yourself yet and you haven't done enough work on yourself, had enough experience with women, haven't realized that you're choosing women who are pretty unhealthy, pretty wounded, and you're drawn to that because they're at your level. As long as you're a guy who's getting friend zoned, you're going to pick women who are going to friend zone you. Because you're withholding who you are, you're not going to get women who want what you are because you're withholding who you are. As long as I'm a people pleaser, I'm going to attract people who want to take advantage of me. If I'm a controlling narcissist, I'm going to get a codependent. Like, we're going to attract what we are. So a good thing is, and this is why it's good to have friendships and failures and experiences, is notice the type of people you're attracted to or the type of people that show up in your life as potential friends and partners, and see what that tells you about you. Because The outside world reflects who I'm being, what I think is possible, what I think I deserve, what I create. There's a lot of room for you don't control everything, but if the people that you choose to have in your life, those are things we can choose. The people that are showing up, like, are they just using me? Are they always people with problems? You know, if I'm only dating alcoholics, if every man I date is an alcoholic, why am I choosing? I'm choosing that. Okay? If every man I date is unemployed, you know, I gotta look at myself. Why am I attracting that? If every woman I meet is a philandering, cheating witch, why am I attracting that? If every woman I meet is, you know, has her Instagram full of men sliding into her DMs, why am I attracting that low vibration type of woman? So if you're, you know, one decision I made after my marriage, and it was I would never ever again date a man who didn't care how I felt and was selfish in bed and didn't care how I felt, where I had to hide my feelings, hide my anger, hide my love, hide my passion. I would never again put up with that. And, you know, I feel like this is like a lifelong process about boundaries and so on. It's like, you know, we got to discover this all on our own because there are no spaces that teach us. We just learn through our pain. We are in this artificial world of individualism where we don't get like wisdom passed down through the generations, you know. And so anyway, when you're dating, look at the age of the person and their maturity. Is this person mature enough to handle an authentic, honest relationship? You know, I've talked to men before that I've coached that always end up with women who need to drink, but these guys don't drink. Someone who needs to drink, someone who has more than a glass of wine with dinner, they should be able to go without it. I have a glass of wine with dinner, but it's 6 o'clock. I haven't had any wine yet. But someone who needs to drink or someone who gets drunk is a big fucking red flag for a relationship. Your relationship is just going to be full of drama. If you're attracted to someone who's drinking, you have a problem. If you're attracted to people who cheat, you have a problem. If you're attracted to people who are unemployed or financially irresponsible, you have a problem because you're attracted to dysfunction. So your relationship can never be good if you're with someone who's dysfunctional. If you're attracted to women in distress, like my brother is, you have a problem, and he has a shit ton of problems. If you're attracted to women who parade around in little skirts and high heels, you have a problem. She is not going to be a mother of your children who cooks meals for you. Sorry to break the news. If you like damsels in distress because you can change them and fix them and manipulate them, you have a problem. If you like women who are weak and disempowered, you might just like women who are weak and disempowered, I don't know, but they're not going to be an equal partner. And one day those women grow up and they find their voice, and then they're going to be pissed off for all the years they put up with bullshit. But I think a lot of guys are choosing women who are not good candidates, because I can tell you this, I think I'm a good candidate and no one's choosing me. So, you know, all those guys that want those young women, well, the young women are immature, they're emotionally immature, they don't know what they want, they play a lot of games, they haven't done enough therapy to heal their trauma. So make sure if you're dating anyone that they're mature, that they're authentic, that they live a sober lifestyle, that they're on track with their career goals and their personal goals, that they're responsible, that they show you appreciation, that they're responsive to your calls, that they're honest, that they're authentic, that they have good boundaries. And it's really hard to find that in someone who's only 20 or 21. So, you know, that could be another one of problems for you guys. It's, you know, when you're young like that, it's best to just have friends casually or whatever. I mean, I know people go into relationships at that age, but, you know, they were still growing up in the relationship, and they're pretty rare, but they do exist. Just don't go for people with problems, you guys, and then complain that these people are cheating on you or bad partners, because you picked someone who was like not ready for a relationship. You know, like me, my favorite place to be in the evenings is at home. I like to go out, but I also like to be at home. If you're dating someone who's got to be out every night and wants to stay out late drinking, that is not a good relationship candidate. You know, does this woman pay her bills on time? Does she keep a clean home? Does she exercise? Does she groom herself well? Is she clean? Is she honest? You know, don't get so lost in the pussy dream that you forget to check out all the other stuff. You're interviewing for like not an employee, but a life partner here. Even if you don't want to marry her, women like that are just better to date, and they give you better experiences. But if you're not attracted to women like that and you like the drama, I'm not going to judge you for that, but I don't really know how to help you have a good relationship if you like the drama. Some people like drama. They like relationships where they can fight and where there's a lot of drama, because that's the energy they want. So I always go into, well, what kind of energy do I want? How do I want to feel? I like to feel calm and happy, so I try to stay for calm and happy. But hey, you know what? We're all growing. I don't have all the answers. I don't pretend to have all the answers, but I feel like with age, you know, I have a lot of fucking wrinkles that I hate, but I also have wisdom that I love. And people kind of respect me more for my age because they feel like I have some wisdom. And I think I do. And I feel like I'm getting some good insights. But I tell you what, I have no idea how to find anyone to date as to myself, because the problem that I see at 60, it's like, okay, where do I see a 65-year-old man who is good looking enough that I even want to like find out what his personality is? And now remember, women, we scan men in 2 seconds for everything about their physical, mental, and emotional health. And unless a man adds value, I don't want him. Like, you wouldn't want me unless I add value, right? Friendships have to add value. Like, we have to enjoy them. And we don't want friends that drag us down and deplete us energetically, physically, or mentally, or on any level. And so I make a lot of these videos too to teach men how to step up, and women how to step up, so we can have a world of happier people and more people that we can date. And one more thing I want to say, I talk to God and I surrender to God, and God knows what we want, and we have to be willing to say, God, I'm going to do what I can, but I also leave it up to you. I surrender to you, God, because God makes things happen in the most magical of places that you would never expect. Well, you don't, in your human mind, have to make things happen all the time. You just have to be the best version of yourself and surrender to God and be open to what God gives you in ideas, in business prospects, where you live, who you date. And sometimes the whole thing of surrender and giving up control and letting God lead is very empowering too. These are all my only mom tips I have for you guys right now. Be careful who you're dating. Be careful who you share energy with. And just remember, we become kind of like the energetic total of the 5 people we're around. So choose your friends wisely. That's all I've got. Now I have to make my dinner. I love this purple carrot stuff. It's so yummy, yummy, yummy.